Hello everyone, FPL Obsession here and welcome to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I'd like to look at a couple of wildcard drafts that you can use for Game Week 24. So, let's get into it. So first up, goalkeepers. And these are the keepers that you should be having in any wildcard draft. Robert Sanchez for Chelsea. Chelsea's next 4 fixtures are as good as they get. David Raya for Arsenal, in the best defence in the country. He's also a good option if you're wildcarding this week, as it looks likely that Arsenal will blank in Game Week 31 and you'll be able to hide him away on your bench. Dubravka as the cheap £4 million option. And finally, Brentford's Kelleher, who rotates really well with Sanchez. As you can see, you can play Sanchez against West Ham, Wolves, Leeds and Burnley, and then Kelleher versus Burnley, Bournemouth, Wolves, Leeds, Everton and Fulham. Now on to defenders, and first up, Trevor Chalobah, mainly for his short-term fixtures, but he does also possess some attacking threat. Then there's an Arsenal double-up, Gabriel and Timber. Don't really need much explaining at all. Both play for the best defence in the country, and Gabriel just looks like he's going to score every time Arsenal get a set piece, and Timber was quite unlucky not to score or get an assist at the weekend. Daniel Munoz from Crystal Palace, mainly for the games in 26 and 27 against Burnley and Wolves at home. Loads of attacking threat, loves getting forward and scored 3 goals and 3 assists already this season. Marco Senesi for Bournemouth. I do like Bournemouth's long-term fixtures, and Senesi, this season's DEFCON beast. He's already got DEFCON 18 times out of just 22 games. And finally, Matty Cash. I do like Matty Cash, I like Villa's fixtures, and similar to Munoz, possesses loads of attacking threat. And I think he's got 5 goal involvements already this season. Now on to midfield and a trio of Man United assets. Bruno Fernandes first, doesn't need any introduction. Back playing in his number 10 role, is on pens, is on free kicks. He should probably be the first name on your team sheet. Then Brian Mbeumo. I'm very tempted to get a Man United double up. I don't know if I can afford Mbeumo, but if I can, then I will probably be getting him. And finally, Mateus Cunha. He has been on the bench the last 2 games, but he's come off, he's got a goal, he's got an assist. And with the news today that Dogu's injured, I can see Cunha starting. I'll also be having Enzo Fernandez for Chelsea for his good fixture run, and he's also on penalties when Palmer's not on the pitch, which is pretty much most weeks. Declan Rice, second highest point scoring midfielder this season. Loads of routes to points, he's on set pieces, he pops up with a goal now and again, he gets DEFCON. Morgan Rogers for Aston Villa. Villa have got good fixtures. Rodgers has been in great form. Plays 90 minutes every week and you don't have to worry about him being benched. And finally, the Everton pairing of Iliman Ndiaye and Dewsbury Hall. Ndiaye, back from AFCON, will start every game and he's on penalties. And Dewsbury Hall was scoring and assisting for fun before he got injured. He came off the bench last night, so I can see him starting this weekend. And he's a great budget enabler at 4.9 million. And finally, the position where we don't get any points from this season, apart from Erling Haaland. He's obviously going in. Another one I'm considering is João Pedro. Again, Chelsea's good fixtures that I keep banging on about. He could be a minute's risk with Delap taking playing time from him, but he could be worth chancing with those fixtures. And the Bournemouth pairing of Evan Nielsen and Krupi Jr. Evan Nielsen is probably on penalties now, and Krupi Jr. is a great budget option. Bournemouth's got great fixtures and I wouldn't hesitate in getting either of them. Right, so after looking at players, now let's take a look at a couple of wildcard drafts. In my first one, I've gone for Sanchez and Kelleher. Explained earlier, they rotate really well. In defence, the 2 Arsenal boys, Gabriel and Timber. Chalobah with his good fixtures, and Cash and Senesi make up my back 5. Onto midfield, the Manchester United pairing of Bruno Fernandes and Brian Mbeumo. And then 3 90-minute men, Enzo, Declan Rice and Morgan Rogers. Up front, Erling Haaland obviously, and I've put both Bournemouth strikers in, Evan Nielsen and Krupi Jr. If you are wildcarding this week, it's vital that you roll as many transfers as possible. You don't want to be putting 1 or 2 week punts in. You want players who you think you can keep right up until game week 31. If you can get up to game week 31 with 4 or 5 transfers, you've got a chance of navigating blanks and doubles which will come from game weeks 33 onwards. I realise that everyone's not got the same team budget, and if you can't afford this draft, you can drop Matty Cash down maybe to an Anderson from Fulham, and if you're only a little bit short, you can drop Mbeumo down to Cunha. And now my second wildcard draft, and I think this is the draft that I'll be going with personally. In goal, I've gone for Raya and Dubravka. Raya, I understand, is expensive and he either gets 2 points or 6 points. When I show you what this team looks like in game week 31, when Arsenal will more than likely blank if they get to the Carabao Cup final, you'll probably understand why I've gone for Raya. In defence, I've gone for Gabriel and Timber. Neither need an explanation. Arsenal will probably double in game week 26 and get an extra fixture against Wolves, and I do like having the Arsenal triple up for the double game week. Chalobah's in there. Chelsea have got great fixtures. I think he plays every game. He has a goal threat, and I do like the Chelsea triple up. Matty Cash, my fourth defender. Villa have got great fixtures. Another nailed defender with good attacking threat. Finally, Senesi from Bournemouth. He gets DEFCON every week. They have got nice fixtures. And if he can pick up a few clean sheets along the way, he could score great points over the next few weeks. In midfield, I've doubled up with Man United, with Fernandes and Cunha. I couldn't quite afford Mbumo. I don't think Cunha's a bad replacement with Dogu's injury, and I think he starts every game. Morgan Rogers is my second Villa player. Explained about the fixtures. Rogers is in great form, getting goals, he's getting assists, he's nailed, he plays every minute of every game. I'm never worried about him being benched. Another one I'm not worried about being benched is Enzo Fernandez. He was a bit of a no-brainer in my team at his price. I think he'll play every game of Chelsea's good fixture run. He could be on penalties if Palmer's not on the pitch, and there's nothing to not like about him. And Jules Briol is my cheap midfield enabler. Up front, Erling Haaland. I've gone for João Pedro, Chelsea's fixtures. How many times have I said that in this video? And Evan Nielsen from Bournemouth makes up my 15-man squad. Again, if you don't quite have the budget to get this squad, an easy way is to drop João Pedro down to Krupi Jr. And this is how the team would line up this week. Got 3 Arsenal defenders away at Leeds, 3 Chelsea players at home to West Ham. We've got the double up from Man United's midfield at home to Fulham, and I will captain Bruno Fernandes. Erling Haaland, who's in everybody's team every week, and then Morgan Rogers and Evan Nielsen, who both have good fixtures. I think the team looks really good for game week 24, and let's hope it's been worthwhile pulling the trigger on the wildcard. Finally, just a word of advice: if you are wildcarding this week, try to make sure that you've got as many nailed players as possible. When we get to game week 31, Man City and Arsenal are both likely to blank. Everyone's going to have Erling Haaland, and everyone will probably have 3 Arsenal players. When we get to 31, ideally you want to be able to bench them and still put an 11 out. You don't want to be transferring them out in 31 just to want them back in game week 33 when they both could double. Right, so before the end of the video, let's quickly fast forward to game week 31. And you can see I've got 3 Arsenal players and I've got Erling Haaland, all of who are likely to blank in game week 31. What I don't want to be doing is transferring them out just to get them back a few weeks later and losing a load of team value. If I can get 11 good starters on the pitch and bench all my Arsenal and Man City assets, that should set me in great stead to navigate future doubles and blanks. It's all the better if you can have 4 or 5 transfers. If this team goes into game week 32 with 4 or 5 transfers, I'm pretty confident that we can work away around doubles and blanks when all other people are going to be wildcarding. Right, that's all from me for now. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope if you're wildcarding this week, I've helped to explain a little bit about what you need to do going forward regarding transfers and doubles and blanks. If you have liked the video, please would you leave me a like, and I'd also be really grateful if you subscribe to the channel so you can see how I manage this team going forward over future weeks. If there's any questions, please leave it in the comments and I will answer every question I get. Right, that's everything from me now. Thanks again for watching, and I hope to see you very soon.